What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Squatch Shop. Today we are going to do, we're not going to be doing, but we're going to be going over changing your brakes on a 2006 F150 4x4. This goes for 2004 to 2008. Pretty much most style of disc brake they have with the hub parking brake in the back. Obviously it's disc brake, but it's inner hub for parking brake. Mine are locking up, so what I'm going to do is actually rip them out until I can get new ones, because I don't want them clanking around, breaking inside while I'm driving. So while those parts are ordered and on the way, to make it a little safer, it's not safer because I don't have an ebrake, but it's safer so nothing breaks and flies out, pops a tire, hits anybody from behind me, anything like that, causes more damage than needed. So we're going to be working on that, and we're going to get that going. Alright, so I got this left side jacked up over here, off the ground, loosen the bolts before we lifted it up. That way when we got them up, we weren't fighting, sticking a piece of wood or the boot or your shoe underneath to crank them loose. So those are up. I'm getting those off. Obviously some people have trouble, which I have too, is with losing your bolts when you're working. They roll away or do anything like that. If you have a hubcap on your truck or your car, the big ones that you pull off, anything like that, you take them off, just throw them right in there. Boom, you ain't gonna lose them. And then you just set them aside, that way they're out of the way, and they won't get lost. Alright, so we got the rear tire off, and what I like to do, some people, you don't have enough room. Obviously I have a little bit more room to get stuff done. Some people wheel it out, they put it in the back of their truck, put it outside, but what I do is I literally just sit it right here, boom, tire seat. So just make sure you're watching your valve stem. So you want to kind of spin that back, make your seat. That way you're not crouched on the floor, anything like that. For this back one, for your caliper, is going to be a 10mm bolt for your caliper. There's two of them. So before we do anything, you can see they're kind of rusty. These are the backs, they're not used as much. So they're going to be changed in the winter. I'm just riding these out for now because I still have half brake pad life on these things. So this truck's been sitting for a little bit, so that's the only reason. It's just all gunked up. So I'm actually going to take my sander on my drill and kind of just go over it and get all the gook off the rotor and chip out the traps inside of the brake pad. And we're going to run some anti-seize on these rails and get them cleaned up, that way they run smooth. And we're going to push out the caliper, that way we make sure everything's good. We're going to check the slides and the boots and everything like that. And then every time that you do this, make sure you do not leave this hanging, because you can snap a line, bend a line, you can tear the high pressure hose here, you can break the line over here, because like you can see with me, there's a little bit of rust bubble starting to build up. So that's the outer coating, but yours can have that and it can break, and then you're going down the road and you lose your brakes. So make sure you tie these up. So with here, there's no room to really tie it, and it's kind of limited of a space, so I'm just literally just going to set it right up here. But even if you do that, if you tie a bungee cord or have it hang from up here or anywhere that you can have a spot to where it's not pulling tension on that hose. So just make sure you guys do that. Saves you time and money and stress to leave you just doing a quick brake job, and then it takes you a couple hours because now you got to run to the store and get that all sorted out and change that out, and then you got to bleed the brakes, and it's just more hassle than none for literally just a zip tie and a bungee cord. So I'm going to get the stuff needed for this, and then we will get going on it. Alright guys, we're going to start off with the caliper bolts. One right on top, obviously one right here on the back. Those are 10 millimeter. You always want to get some penetrant. I got my handy dandy liquid wrench here. So you're just gonna tap that. Get a little bit on there. I'm running out. Kind of spray right in here where they connect in. Let them sit for a little bit. And then you can try to break them free. I use ratcheting wrenches on this. So that's to the right here. Alright, yeah. It's on there pretty good. So we'll give that a minute to kind of sit and set. If you're doing anything else, if you're pulling anything else from here, make sure that you spray it all before you start. So if like when I'm doing the front, I'll show you that the caliper bracket we're going to be spraying. The other side gave me issues. I had to put the torch on it and let it sit on there for about 5 or 10 minutes before I could actually crack it. And your best way to do it is to keep heat on it while you're cracking it loose. Because once you take that heat away, it's hot to touch, but internally it cools down relatively quickly. So you're gonna want to make sure that you can keep the heat on there if you can. I just set the thing up and put a cane in front of it and a wrench behind it to kind of give it an angle so that way it's sitting on there good. But yeah, that's probably gonna need to be heated. And then I'll go over that stuff too. So these are all good. It's just, they're all just gunked up from sitting. So I got my hammer drill and I got my pad. I'll have to change that, but we'll use it and just clean this up. It's literally just, it's just dust, brake dust that built up on it. So I'll get these cracked loose and then move on to the next step. Alright guys, so I had the grinding noise in the rear and my brake light on, and this, pulling the drum and get this out, these fell out. So that proves that everything's locked up and bad for the e-brakes. So we're gonna get this off. Alright guys, so I was gonna show you the back, but I pulled the rotor off and the as you can see, literally everything fell out, and as soon as I pulled it all the way off, the emergency brake pads and everything fell out. So that's what I was going to show you, how to take apart, and pretty much just fell out. So I just threw those to the side, cleaned up the pad, and threw it back on, and just tightened that bolt, tightened that right back up, and got that done. So this side we're doing the front caliper. So the top is not the right size, so it must have been replaced by the previous owner. The bottom one is a 13. This one would not come out, so I had to heat it up. And I threw a 13 on there. And a little trick to give you some leverage if you don't have long wrenches is you take another one size bigger than that, or like a couple sizes. So this is an 18 on a 13. It gives you a little bit more, and then you can just sit there and wrench it if you don't have a socket or anything and stuff like that. So this will help you, kind of give you more leverage to get this off from here. So I'm gonna get that off and we'll get this caliper pulled off. I got those bolts off. This is a 13 that it should be. Have that on there. This is what was on the top. This is what you do not want to do. Go spend the $5 for the new boots and bolt. It's like $5 or $6. Napa, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, anywhere. It's like $5 or $6 for one side. I think the one I got before was like $3. $3 to fix this instead of doing. Obviously, if you're in a rush and you have the bolt to fit, just throw it in. But come on, $3, guys. Let's get this put on right. That way you're not worrying about your brakes being compressed the right way and having uneven brakes or anything like that, because it's not set to the length that you need it. So I'm obviously not gonna pull anything off from this because I'm just cleaning them off. So when I get the brakes soon, everything will be replaced in brand new. So we're not gonna have that issue. So that can last for a week or two until that stuff comes in. But yeah, not smart. Definitely mess up your kind of run on your brakes and where they're at. So piece of my brake dust shield breaking off, but Alright, so we're gonna get this caliper taken off. So what I'm gonna do is literally just take a pry bar. Let's just come in here and break her free. They're gonna be tough depending on how old your brakes are and stuff like that, and the weather. And then obviously what you're gonna do, your best bet to relieve pressure is take your brake cap off. So then you built up pressure, you don't pop any lines or anything like that when you're compressing your brakes or anything going back like this, because these are, you can see the stuff's pretty corroded in here. So I'm gonna get that all ground down and smooth and have these pretty much ready and prepped for the new brakes. But yeah, they do not want to come off. So you'll try to rock it back and forth from here, kind of peel. There we go. She's loosening up pretty good. Look at that, right there. So, and when you're doing this, obviously 2 hands. That way you don't drop this caliper on the ground and break your lines, which is another $20, $30, $40, depending on what it is. And then you gotta take it off the caliper, and then your banjo bolt is compromised because you might break that or the seal on there. So it can lead to more mess than good by just dropping this caliper. So make sure we'll go from the bottom here. All right, that's working itself off pretty good now. So right there. All right, so as you can see, there's crap in here, like all the paper, metal paper pieces from the back of the pad. It's all built up and put in here. So clean that out. All right. And then we're gonna hang this with some zip ties. There. We will make sure when you're doing this, you're watching your line so you're not bending it the wrong way and kink it or anything. So get this in here, wrap it around that control arm or spring, whatever works for you. Almost dropped it. Hold on, guys. Sorry, it's a bad view. Try to get this and not drop this. Alright, so that's all in there. Let that rest right there. Okay, cool. Alright, now we're moving on to the caliper bracket. Those are the bolts right there. One right there, and then that one right there. Running out of fluid. So those are 18s. Those are going to be 18s, and then the ones for the caliper are going to be 13 millimeter. So 18 millimeter, 13 millimeter, and we're going to see if those will break free. What do I got over here? My 18s are here. I got an 18 right here. Let's try this one first. Get that on there, nice and snug. We're going to tap this with the hammer. See if we can crank it free. There we go. The other side I had to heat up for about 10 minutes, so that one broke free. Let's try this one. Alright. There we go. She's coming free. Sweet. Those are on there. Then I'm going to get my ratcheting one, which should be right here. And we'll make sure that's going on the right way. Alright, that's broken free. Alright, so that one's a little bit more tough. That one's probably going to be tapped with the hammer. There's going to be crap built in One's going to be harder than the other. They might just both be good, but expect the worst. And don't wrench on these things. Heat them up. It's not worth breaking the bolt and having to go spend 20, 30 bucks on a new bracket and new bolts just to do this. So take your time with it. So I'll get that off and then we'll get this rotor off, guys. Alright, so caliper bracket is off. And then see how this will not pop off. Sometimes you gotta check because there will be a Phillips head screw that sets these in place, that way they don't move, and you're gonna want to put a Phillips head in there and you're gonna smack it with a hammer, and those break free. These ones do not have it. The rear ones do, but there's no place for the screw to go in, just the that type of rotor came with those holes just in case. There's two of them. But yeah, you have to put the screwdriver in and smack it with a hammer, and it's like an impact screwdriver you can actually buy, which I used to have. I have it in my toolbox. It's just down in the other barn, so obviously I don't need them on these, so there's no point in having it up here. So when they're stuck like this, you can smack these. They're gonna be on here. Ooh, don't want to come off. So when we do that, we are going to spray inside the lugs right here, get some fluid in there. That way it kind of works in. Spring it around the axle ring there. So you can get that set. And that'll help kind of spread that and hopefully break that loose. If you can, try to get in from behind back here. When you're doing this, make sure you're watching for your ABS cable if you have them, which you should. Get that all in there. Alright. So yeah, your ABS cable is going to be right in here. So you're not going to want to take that off or hit that because they're like $100. So definitely don't want to break those. You want to be careful of your tie rods and everything like that. So just sit, smack a little bit so you go. Woo. See, we gotta be careful because I just chipped that. So that's chipped. So yeah, definitely gotta be careful. Everybody does it. Everybody makes the mistake. So. So we're going to work on this, then we'll get back to you. Alright, so I got that off, took it off, cleaned it, kind of just ground it down. It obviously doesn't look too perfect, but I used a little sand pad on my my drill and just kind of got that all cleaned up so all the chunks and crap weren't built on there. Threw some anti-seize on the inside so it wouldn't stick because I had to sit here and stand up and bash it with the hammer just to get it off. So You never really want to put anti-seize on these because there's not any. It's just because they're wet. They look silver. Because at a point your lug nuts can actually roll right off from the vibration and the heat and cold from your brakes going on and off. It'll slowly push them off. So you don't ever want to put anti-seize on those, and you don't ever want to put thread locker on them as well, because then you can't get them off and you under thread or you over thread and twist the inside pieces that these hold into, and the free spins, and that's a pain in the ass to get out. And then you pretty much got to cut them or drill them out from the back if you can get from there. It's a whole pain. So don't ever put anything on these because you can really screw yourself. So we got that on. We're gonna get this bolted back up. I'm gonna get the edges for these. You always want to put anti-seize or anything on these. You want to clean these up so that way they're flush. Anything that contacts to another metal. So I always wipe those down and then throw some anti-seize on them. And then for your slide plates for your brakes, always throw some anti-seize inside there as well, because this is the passage right in there is where those will glide and sit, and that'll make them move smoothly and not freeze up later on. And then obviously if you want to take these out, usually when you change them, take them out, put some anti-seize or grease in there, that way they push and slide out nicely. These are pretty good, so I'm not going to do that right now, but make sure you get that done, and then throw some anti-seize on the bolts to put this in, which is the 18s. That way they're not a pain in the ass to get out, and they'll still hold in there. There won't be any issues with that. So I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll switch right back over once it's on there. Alright, so we got the brakes on. Make sure that I put the never seize down in here. They slide right in, they're nice and smooth. Make sure you put them on the right way, guys. Some of these do go in the wrong way, so you want to make sure that it goes with the curve. Easy mistake if you're not paying attention, you're just trying to get it in, especially the backs. When you have them in a certain way and you put them in, you could be doing it backwards from what you're looking at. I made sure I put some never seize on these on the ends, so when I put this caliper on, that way it can be pulled out and gone in from there. So what we'll do now is I have my brake caliper press. Yeah, it's pretty dark out. Those are the ebrake pads and boot. Look at that, just destroyed. Literally all that's what's left of the springs. This literally just fell apart. That's the adjuster. Like there's nothing. It just, it's all shot. So I got my caliper compressor here. This is definitely a nifty tool to get. Literally just set that bad boy right in there, and you just press the handle. It brings it right in. And then what I like to do is get it set where it needs to be and locked. We'll take some of this liquid wrench and kind of spray it around these boots a little bit. You don't want to do brake cleaner because that'll eat away at the rubber boots. Just kind of get that in there. Then when you press it in, it'll push itself into there. So lift it up. Slowly compress it. When this is due, this will bring your the caliper piston back into normal place. Usually just do this when you do a normal brake job to get these in. Use this big C-clamp and you'll put the brake pad in there to hold so you can get a solid press. And with these double ones, sometimes one will push the other one out. So you want to try to make sure they're as equal as possible. As you can see, the left one's a little farther out. So they should press. I'm going to get this pressed in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand because it's a good amount of pressure. So I'll get this and then I'll get the caliper back on and get that bolted. But from there on, this ain't too bad. Obviously when you put the brake pads on, this on there. These ones are set in place, so you literally just snug it in from the bottom or here, and then you'll push it right in, and then you'll shake it and wobble it to get it set into the bolt spot, and then just tighten them right up, get them nice and snug, and you're good to go. Just make sure you throw some anti-seize on the parts that connect, like right in here. That's going to attach right to there, so make sure you guys are putting that on there. That way you don't have any issues with stuff building up, getting in there, ruining those. And then obviously watch your dustpan, because mine's falling apart. Anything that, if you hear any scraping after you're done, you could have just kinked this and it's rubbing on there. I'm just going to push this out because this one I'll probably rip off. There you go, look at, boom, done, all rusted. You don't even really need that. So this I'm just gonna, I'll probably pull it all apart, but I'm gonna get that on. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below the video. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button, either on my page or at the bottom right of the video, right there. Hit that and you can subscribe, and then go check out my other videos. Leave comments, likes, any suggestions, any questions, any thoughts of what you would do differently, or what may work better. Obviously everybody else has their opinions and different ways that they've done it, and could be easier to have things done. So positivity is always the best. So let's keep this a happy channel, guys. Thank you for stopping by the Squatch Shop, and I hope you enjoyed. We'll be working on probably transmission lines for this in the next couple weeks, as well as the official brake change video for this that I will go through the front and the back with the brake shoes for the emergency brake. So, alright, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Thanks for stopping by the Squatch Shop. Stay dirty, stay purdy. Check you later, guys. Alright, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And the videos are right down in the bottom right corner right here. You can click right here, hit the subscribe, go hit the notification button, and likes on the videos. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by the Squatch Shop. Part 2 will be posted soon. Thank you.